Here we are, the perfect patio finale, part 5. So we went from the finishing of paving stone surface, so nice and flat for our furniture to sit on. This was the before shot. So pretty basic with the landscape ties, nothing too special. Lots of overgrown plant material around the outer edges. And then they installed the perimeter drain system, so we kind of took over from there. Nice clear crush, free draining system. Did some excavation. Figured out our heights, built our step, started on some base prep, making sure that our compaction was really good. And then we started to lay out some of our secondary area here as well. So I laid out some fabric and I used some of the leftover sand just to create a base layer. And we're finishing off the patio there first, but the secondary seating is going to be a nice little gravel area. And we got a bunch of river rock happening around the outer edge. So I'll show you how I did that first. Usually I like to rough in the larger size river rock. So I think it's about 2 to 4 inch pieces. Get that in place on the fabric. And then from there, once I sort of get a general shape with the larger stuff, I'll start to fill in with smaller and smaller material. So usually I do a 3/4 and then a pea gravel. And the pea gravel I like to think about as the water. So I'm using it in the lowest points, kind of the finest material at the lowest points. And yeah, to create that water effect, I'm just gonna rough it in with a bucket and then spread it around by hand, sort of do some fine tuning, making sure the fabric is all covered up. And I try to take as much inspiration from nature as possible. So that means kind of creating some high and low points, using the larger rock as kind of the structure, and having the smaller rock sort of flow around it. A little bit extra time to sort of tweak it like that I find helps a lot with the overall look, not just kind of throwing it in and mixing it, but creating that little bit of extra visual interest. So bigger pieces around the little faux bridge here, which I used with some old timbers that I sealed up and set on some road base and attach them together with some pressure treated timber underneath. So the idea was to create this feeling like you're transitioning from the patio to the secondary space. And there's actually just a couple inches of space underneath, and we added some lighting on each edge to create a cool effect and help transition to make it feel like more of a riverbed. The cool thing about this sort of river rock drainage is that it actually has a layer of fabric underneath, but it's actually going to free drain down into the perimeter drain system and that extra perforated system that we put in as well. So it adds drainage as well as a nice kind of border look, and obviously pretty low maintenance too. So the reason why they redid the perimeter drain was this place was actually getting a fair amount of water in the winter at times. So extra drainage is always good in those situations. That just means that we're going to have less plant bed material, less plant bed space, so we're going to have to use some pots and create some greenery that way, which I find actually is quite a nice detail. So we go from our finished patio and the transition to the secondary space through the transition of the bridge into a nice gravel sitting area. For the gravel I used, it's called salt and pepper, so it's kind of a mix of a granite material crushed up. It's about 3/4 inches, and I used the same screed method as I did for the patio. I just compacted it really well. And we're gonna add some extra detail in here in a sec too with this product from Core Glow. So kind of fun, it comes in a few different colors, and you'll see it in use in a sec here. It's called Quantum. It's their like really high powered glow. And it looks just like regular gravel. You can just see a bit of a light color, a titch of green there. But I'm gonna mix it in on the surface to create a pretty cool glow effect in the evening. So I wanted to do it this way so that I wasn't having to light the actual gravel surface from above. I wanted the lighting for the bridge to sort of take precedent in the transition, and then I wanted to light the surface of the gravel so that you had a really good sense of where the actual gravel surface was for walking at night. So really happy with how it turned out. Kind of a nice, cool, interesting feature to look at. Kind of get that galaxy effect. And I find it does actually help a lot. It glows, number one, really impressively, like way more than I thought it was going to. But it actually helps you be able to tell like the dimension of the patio. Like even if it's really dark with just the lighting on the sides, you can really tell exactly where you need to step, which is really nice. So lots of fun to be had with it. And even in the firelight, beside it still glows really nice. And you can add some smaller sizes of it as well. I just went nice and simple with one size and two colors. Really nice for a little fire pit area here, kind of secondary from our main outdoor living space. All right, it's been lots of fun with the Perfect Patio series. See you next time.